Well, hello friends, hope you're all keeping well. Got a very special unboxing today. A company called MeloAudio reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in doing a demo of their TS Mega and their TS Mini. Now these are audio interfaces. TS Mini is a audio interface entirely. You can use it for your computer and for your mobile device as well for iOS. But we'll come back to that in just a moment. The TS Mega is actually an audio interface as well as being a foot controller as well. So in addition to being able to run this into a computer or something like that, you can also use this and hook this up to your iPad or your iPhone and actually use apps like bias effects and stuff like that, but actually in a live environment if you wanted to. So this has actually got an XLR output and a jack outputs, pair of stereo jack outputs as well. So you could run this into a PA system or something like that, utilising your iPhone or iPad to actually do your effects and things like that. And then you've got the various foot switches on there as well that you can actually select some of the patches. Some of the apps like Jam Up Pro and things like that, you're able to actually select patches on. But I thought I'd go ahead and unbox these with you all today. So I'll start with the TS Mega. So in the box we have some nice instructions. Thank you. There we go. And a bit of cardboard. We've got a guitar pick from MeloAudio there as well. And inside is the actual unit itself. So, well built, solid metal construction. We've got 8 foot switches, and we've got LCD screen. We've got a line in, line left and right line in, left and right line out, and a headphone output there as well. On the back we've got left and right inputs, expression pedal inputs, left and right out, MIDI in and out, USB lead. This is the one that connects to your iPhone or to your computer, and then we've got a separate, what looks like a older USB type device for actually powering the unit. But as far as I understand, this does power off your iPhone or iPad direct, so you shouldn't need to use that unless you have any problems. So we've got a headphone jack, and we've also got an XLR out on the side there as well. So here's the actual unit itself, and in the box we have, let's just drop that down there for a moment. So and in the box we have a MIDI cable, and also the USB lead for actually connecting up to the iPhone device. It didn't come with, in the box, an actual connector block to connect to your iPhone, because it needs this little adapter. This is one I actually bought separately, but when I contacted MeloAudio, they did kindly send me one in the post as well, so I've got the one for that as well. But yeah, so I'll come back to that one in just a moment. I'll do the 2 unboxings at the same time, just makes it a little bit more straightforward, and then we'll look into some demos and what the items can do. So this is the TS Mini audio interface, and this is quite a lot smaller, quite a lot lighter. We've got a guitar input just there, and we've got an XLR input as well, so I'm assuming you can run sort of both channels there as well. We've got a headphone jack as well, and we've got on the top a direct monitor button, phantom power button, and a volume up and down button. And then we've got a USB, MIDI, and an output, so it looks like you can actually run this as an output straight to a guitar amplifier if you wanted to. Again, same USB lead, which I think is probably the same. Yeah, we've got instructions and a USB lead, exactly the same in there as well, so we won't worry about that. But this is quite fun, because this is quite a small device. I've been trying to get my head around some of the iPhone and iPod applications. I use bias effects on the PC, but I've been dabbling with the iPhone and iPod versions. So unfortunately my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 is unable to be powered from an iPhone, because it commands too much power. But apparently this works with an iPhone straight in direct with no problems at all. So I'm going to hook it all up and hook both the units up and run it into my sound card and give you a bit of a demonstration of what's actually going on. Okay, so I've connected this up to my iPhone and I'm running the JamUp Pro, the JamUp application that I've used before. And as soon as I've connected this up and loaded everything up, it comes up with a message saying you successfully unlocked the MeloAudio license, which I'm guessing gives you sort of access to additional sort of programs and things like that. But what I'm going to do is have a little, so hopefully you can see that okay. I've set up sort of bass sort of tone in JamUp, utilising the Vox AC30 amplifier and a Roland RE301 type of echo unit, and also a reverb as well. So I'm going to plug my guitar in, and what you're hearing is literally this device into my iPhone. Okay, so I've got my Allen Brazen Strat plugged into the input on the TS Mini, and the output is going into my sound card with the USB going to my iPhone. So this is just a brief sort of sound that I've set up, just a rough sort of thing, but yes, it certainly gives you a sort of nice sound to sort of mess around with. You could quite happily record with that, depending on what your sort of styles are. With the JamUp program, you've actually got you can actually import a backing track into that and play along with that, utilising that particular part. There's also what looks like a jamming along sort of thing there. You've got an 8-track studio as well that you can also use. But as I say, we've got a nice little sort of echo going on there. It's not exactly entirely specific, but you know, it gives a sort of nice indication of what you can do with this. As I say, I've got the treble just over. This is based on a normal amplifier. Gives a sort of nice sort of generic sort of shadowsy type tone. So you've got numerous different amplifiers on here. I could do a sort of slightly different sort of sound completely. What we got here, this is looks like a 50-watt plexi with an Ibanez tube screamer. Have a look at the amp and effects on there. Let's turn the gain up a little bit, make a little bit more noise. We'll just turn the guitar down a little bit on this side. But yeah, it gives you sort of a nice, it would certainly be great for taking away for a weekend or something like that. So you've only got to pack the TS Mini and your iPhone and a couple of leads and a guitar, and you've basically got a sort of jam along rig. You can put your headphones in and away you go. So yes, I'm quite impressed with that. Build quality is really, really good. But let's switch over to the TS Mega. Okay, so I've hooked this all up. I'm running the guitar into the left input on the Tone Shifter Mega, and then the output of the Tone Shifter Mega over to my interface, and again just using the iPhone capabilities. So I'll just pick it up and show you around it, hopefully. So there we have, there's the device there. So we've got that sort of connected up. Great thing about this is you've got a nice little ledge to just sit your iPhone or iPad on, which is really good. There's also a great thing about the foot switches on here, so I've set up 3 different patches. I can go from a sort of generic shadowsy type sound by just the press of a button simply. I can go over to and again a different sort of so this is probably a little bit more practical in terms of live performing, so you can run this into a pair of monitors or something like that. You can also use this with headphones. Again, there's no power going to this unit at all apart from using the iPhone. And again, you've got the same functionality of the app. You can also, as I say, use bias effects if you've got the mobile app on here as well. But again, you don't have to actually use your mobile device at all. You can just connect this via USB straight into your computer and use this as an interface for connecting. You've got an XLR input and various other inputs on there as well. So you can actually just use this as an interface, and then you can use it as a mobile interface separately, and then you can also use it out on the road live if you messed around with some of the sounds. As I say, this is just a generic sort of rock sound, and not my sort of style, obviously, but something a little bit nice, and so good fun to mess around with. But there we go. Two great pieces of kit, and so fun to mess around with. Great, the fact that you can take them mobile and just with your iPhone is brilliant. I'm going to mess around, probably take these out and do some recording outside once lockdown's over, and there's a couple of great songs I want to do with a little bit more of an open background rather than just my flat. But so I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in a new video very, very soon. Take care.